Hello, everybody, and welcome to some more Honkai Impact. Today, we're going to be doing some side storying. Just going to look at this real quick. If I get 200 from each of these, I'd more than be able to meet the goal. So 200, 200. So that's 4, 6, 8, 1,000, 1,200. But yeah, we're going for the side story. Starting with this one. Mysterious graffiti, scribble and scrawl. Flua first came here. A warm, bright afternoon. Everything was in perfect tranquility. The small one with a sad look was passing through the street crowds.
和子くん？深さん、ごめん。深さんを見てなくて。
The photos in Cyan's arms scattered on the ground when he was taken aback. Flua bent down to help him pick them up, which only made him more uneasy.
ごめん。ごめん。僕が。
No need to apologize, Cyan. Everything's gonna be alright. Trying to spare him the embarrassment, Flua started a new topic.
和子くん、この写真は今日の記録ですか？
I would assume so, yeah.
そうだよ。懸命に崩壊中の痕跡があるってみんなから声が届いてて、ちゃんと保存して比較できるように今まで以上に細かく記録することにしたんだ。
All photos were time-stamped, but some had a circle mark.
写真に何か問題でもあったのですか？一部の写真に特殊なマークがついているみたいですが。うん。気になることがあったんだ。塀に変わった落書きがあって。
Okay, what's strange about them?
バイオレットが落書きをきれいにしてくれたし、オレンジ姉さんに頼んでみんなにそんなことをしないようにって伝えてもらったんだけど、いつまでたっても落書きが懸命に与える影響は崩壊獣以上にひどくならないけど。
But what? The graffiti was smeared in some pictures but not in others, so the work could be clearly made out. A simple painting of irregular colored shapes, which formed a pattern that resembled a sunflower.
これはひまわりでしょうか？それあ、これは兆候にある円形の体の模様だよ。道理で見覚えがあると思いました。ですが落書きをした人はどうしてこのタイルの模様を何度も繰り返し描いているのでしょう？ただ繰り返してるってわけじゃないよ。深さん、見て。足跡？タイルを踏んだ足跡がありますね。しかも比べてみると落書きにある足跡の位置が少しずつ。もちろん住人たちに蹴られたわけじゃないよ。すみません。和光くん、他にもこんな落書きがないかもう少し探してみましょう。深さんが僕と一緒に調べてくれるってこと？ここから一番近い落書きは確か。
By comparing the photos, Cyan pointed the way.
あそこにある気がする。
I was just checking something real
行っ
quick.
てみましょう。
I recognize that, I think. The first spot on the bright wall was some small footprints on the sunflower pattern floor tile. Cyan took a photo of the graffiti with his camera. Then he began to observe it carefully.
もし足跡の向きが 次の落書きの位置を表してるとしたら、深さん、こっち。
崩壊銃です。和光君は隠れていてください。
They're just normal Honkai beats again.
気をつけて。ごめん、深さん。僕のせいで。
You need to stop blaming yourself so much.
うまく連携できていましたよ。和光君が案内してくれたおかげで崩壊銃を倒すことに集中できました。
よかった。
The second spot on the broken wall, there was a set of small footprints on the sunflower patterned floor tile. A photo of the creator's camera then began to observe it carefully.
足跡が中心に近づいてる。方向の他に距離も。
和光君の推測は正しいと思います。もしかしたら私たちは目的地に近づいているのかもしれません。
うん、僕は適当に言ってみただけで。
行きましょう。すぐに答え合わせできますよ。
That's not a floor tile if it's on the freaking wall. The spot on the freshly painted wall, there was a set of small footprints on the sunflower patterned floor tile. Took a photo with his camera, then began to observe it carefully.
足跡が模様の中央につま先が向いてる方向を見て。
もしこの特殊なタイルの模様が
それなら。
Then I took out the photos he had taken during patrol. Although most of them were pictures of sunflowers, the one in Shangang's old plaza stood out.
径名のところどころにこの落書きがある。上書きされても再び現れる。それに明星っていう意味を持つ名前の町で酔い星に関する落書きを。
それが作者の目的なんだと思います。兆候に行ってみませんか。その
深さん、僕の考えが正しいとは限らないよ。それに兆候は長い間放置されてるから。今の状況で深さんと僕が兆候に行ったら。
これくらいトラブルとは言えませんよ。手伝うと約束しましたし、崩壊銃を見て見ぬふりはできません。和光君は記録員としての調査を終わらせるため、私は家に帰る手がかりを探すため、お互いに
でも
言ってみるだけですから大丈夫です。私たちの推測。
With Fuha's acknowledgement and consolation, Siam blushed as he held his camera and photos tighter.
行きましょう、和光君。兆候で調査を続けましょう。
Hua gently patted him on the back, and this act gave him some encouragement and courage.
うん、深さん。
Following the graffiti's guidance, the two entered Shangang. Hypothesis is true, and the author is intentionally leading us to Shangang. He must have left some clues behind. Well, we could find them. No, in this situation, it would be better if there was nothing to find at all. Sorry. Don't think too much into it, and focus on what we can do before us. Alright. What is this place you talked about? No, I'm going for fire. Fire seems to just work better. Oh, they were actually fire people too. Oh, I didn't need to do the freaking ultimate there. This is some distance, not far ahead. More monsters? Oh, lightning insight. Physical smash. It's really here. Folk near the round pavilion. Also a string of numbers 720-720-720. In place of but there are quite a few pavilions with round roofs in the city, and basically on the numbers, what's it supposed to be? 7. Should be 7. 720, so the number in the empty space should be 7. With a keen eye. Maybe not, I might be wrong. Don't deny yourself so quickly. Even if you end up changing your mind, you need to see the right evidence before doing so. Yeah, that's true. What these numbers are as for at the moment? Let's jot it down and look around in Kangming. Yeah. The two returned to Kangming and looked at the passing crowds and rows of houses. They didn't know where to start. There's so many houses and people. Where should we begin our investigation? Cyan stood in the middle of the street and seemed helpless again. He did not know his Fuha observing him from the side. That this isn't a serious or dangerous incident. Cyan's capabilities can finish the investigation alone. He just needs to believe in himself. It's a good opportunity for him to build confidence and acknowledge himself. He always doubts himself. If he doesn't recognize his own competence, he will think that he is unworthy of taking on more responsibilities. After all, I was also once. Cyan, I have an idea. What is it? Too much to search through this time, and it'll be too conspicuous to move together. How about we... Fuha moved close to the boy's ear and told him her plan. Me? Alone? Yes. I'm... Let's go with this. Remember to send messages to me. How I operate will depend on you. Fuha waved her hand and left while Cyan was still confused. Huh? I have to calm down and be rational. Pretend that Fuha is still around. If I were with her, how would we analyze this? If he's afraid of his work being uncovered, then he will return to the scene to check. Find the place he wants us to go to through him. So his sleeves and pant legs must be stained with paint. As vibrant colors will leave obvious marks on the body. Yeah, you're right, Cyan. Oh, I sound so arrogant. Now's not the time to think about that. Since Fuha believes in me, I've got to do my best. Sure, we should follow him for now. Did I get too close? Just taking a look. He's buying things. Paint them more like textbooks. So it's this place. The little boy arrived at a building next to a pavilion and pushed the door open. This door as if to allow someone in. What should I do? Should I go in and take a look? Good again, I should check things out now. Some kind of secret base? There are many books on training. Some coloring books. His hobbies are quite diverse. Paints, brushes, and photos of graffiti. Drawing beautiful cursive, the night illuminates the morning star. His number is 12, 7, 5, 2, 3, -1, -3. Wait. 12, 7, 5. Oh. 4. Should be 4. There's a difference between the first and second number. First, I can only do so much. The entire city slept through the cloudy night. Hope can find what the artist wants us to see in the city. Think about it. We have special paint that will stand out at night. It always has a sharp smell. That perhaps we can find more clues, if we're lucky. We may even have a chance upon paint marks left by the artist. Let's take a look around. It's also possible that I already broke the crate before they even got to that point. As expected. The graffiti artist used a special paint to write in a trendy, artistic style. The word had a neon glow and stated, "The celebration remembers for us." Well, there was also a string of numbers. 23, 16, 28, 11, 33, 6, and 38. Oh my. One. The one's going up by 5 each time, and the other one should be going down by 5 each time. One. You have a difference of 5. Even less likely the children sneak into the museum. Time to complete a mission without Fuha again. Trevor can overcome all obstacles and achieve everything with your own capabilities. Well, I feel a bit better now. A new clue's waiting for me in the museum. The boy encouraged himself quietly and began to search for any traces left behind by the graffiti artist. The Violet's postcard collection. In the side of the museum, there's only the sound of the boy flipping through books. The photos on the postcards look better over time. I must find clues about the graffiti artist. I can't let Fuha down now. Cyan resolved himself and began to focus. I found it! Huh? Purple took a photo of the children who drew the graffiti. In the photo, 2 boys held up a paper board together and smiled at the camera, like the other residents, which were in the place we are all familiar with. String numbers 3, 29, 62, 127. Brain malfunction. Then this time should be 3, 29, 62. 7. I want to. It's 8. This is again. 7? 6. Z n cubed plus or minus 2. Number terms divided by 2. Even numbers are subtract. What? I'm so supposed to figure that out immediately. This photos from last year's celebration. The puzzles from the greeter artist lasted for so long. The graffiti have only been appearing recently. Very peculiar. Fuo and Cyan each made their own discoveries and discussed the last puzzle. The place we are all familiar with. Phone number 7416. Vita flipped through the photos from his bag in confusion, trying to find any clues from the pictures of buildings in the city on an ordinary day. He looked through them for a long time, but ultimately placed them down in disappointment. I can't do it after all. What makes you say that? I'm not as smart as blue, nor as strong as red. Compared to green, I'm only a child. The graffiti artist gave me all the clues, but I still... The boy lowered his head, dejected. How should I comfort him? Show him your approval. You've done very well, much better than before. What? You've really proven your capabilities this time. You found 2 clues by yourself and even solved 4 number puzzles. Yeah. These small achievements are also thanks to your typically serious attitude, too. That's why you understand every aspect of gaming. Every person, every house, you. Hold on, Fua. Those 4 numbers, 7416, that we're all familiar with. They must be the place that we want to go.
Is
I hit the true route.
この建物は7と4の道の境界にあるということですか。私が倒しましょう。
Yeah, I've noticed it's only voicing on the quote-unquote true route. This warehouse had been unused for a long time. It had long become a place for children to play in and explore instead. The two found the final answer to the puzzle here. In a corner of a certain empty room, they found a box with what the children saw as precious treasure.
あの建物の中で見た通俗科学の本と芸術に関する本がここにもそれだけじゃない画材それと子供の日記がある。
今は真実を明らかにして起こりうる脅威を排除することが大事です。
After some hesitation, the two carefully opened the cover and saw that the child, who loved drawing, had written about his longing for his friend.
うちの落書きは病気で寝たきりになった友達のために。
彼が用意した謎は謎解きが好きな友人に残した合言葉だったんですね。去年のお祭りで初めて謎を考えたと書いてあります。当時2人はその後友人は病気で倒れてしまい約束も叶いませんでした。そんな中芸名を落書きで埋め尽くして友達の注意を引こうとアドバイスした子がいました。だから彼は謎を作って自分が初めて完成させたものも入れた。幸いにも子供は単純ですからね。今回の件は友情によって生まれた小さなトラブルです。
よかった。大したことはないみたいだ。後でこの件をオレンジ姉さんに伝えよう。姉さんは人をなだめるのが得意だから穏やかにこの子と話し合って円満に解決してくれるはず。でも壁の落書きをきれいにしなきゃダメだね。この量だと バイオレットの手伝いが必要かも。
Slan seemingly noticed Fuha staring at him and looked up, tilting his head in confusion.
ほら、もう一人前になっているじゃないですか。
それは深さんがずっと励ましてくれたから。
でも私の励ましだけじゃ落書きの謎を解いたり事件をうまく解決したりはできませんよ。私は和光くんの代わりに現れた崩壊獣を倒しただけです。事件の調査に関しては何も手伝っていません。ほら、あなたは自分が思っているよりも頼もしく強いでしょ。
深さん、一つ質問してもいいかな。
もちろんです。
どうして深さんは僕のためにここまでしてくれるの？僕が自信を持てるようにわざわざ手分けして
いいえ、和光くんの言う通り、確かに私はわざとそうしていました。なんて言えばいいのでしょう。
She shifted her gaze from the boy in front of her, and looked up the distant sky with a nostalgic smile.
おじけづいたり、自分で限界を作ったりしている和光くんを見ると、最初の自分を思い出すんです。
深さんみたいにすごい人にもそんな時期があったの？
とにかく私が来る前からこの町のためにずっと努力していた和光くんは一人前の代理人です。一方、昔の私は口下手でクラスの中でも一番存在が薄く、友達の作り方も知りませんでした。たくさんの優しい人がいて、そのおかげで私は成長し、短所を克服できました。謙虚も度が過ぎると、むしろ自分の能力を制限してしまいます。自己評価が低いと、最終的に不必要な障害すら招きます。和光くんが短所を克服できるように手を貸したのは、今の話を過去の私に伝えたかったからかもしれません。すみません、勝手にそう思ってしまって。
そんなことないよ。今の深さんの話みたいなこと、僕は一度も考えたことがなくて、すごく意味があると思う。
和光くんの仲間、他の代理人たちもきっとあなたを信頼しています。
みんなは僕にとってかけがえのない家族だから、がっかりさせたくないんだ。ありがとう、深さん。
The modest boy smiled shyly, and tried to stand up straight with confidence. Took the diary and ran out, but stopped shortly after to wave goodbye to Fuha. She waved back. Just like that, she bade farewell to her former self. And now we go this way. Let's see what the other way entails. Change the topic. We start from the information we have on hand. Let's leave this string of information up aside, since it's stated that this is a place that we are all familiar with then. Take a look at the children's secret base. The boy forced himself to brighten up and nod seriously. Yeah, let's go. So yeah, this is definitely the one that isn't the one you're supposed to do. And someone's inside. Do I stare at them in shock? We've already been facing the corners of the city. Why are you here? Because of your graffiti. Don't you like to take photos? How are those related? There's an expression of emotion, so he encouraged me to do this. See my work along every street. But, like to, and I do graffiti because I miss my friend. Is that wrong? That's the reason. More than me, I like to solve various types of puzzles very, very much. And really quickly, aside from art, that is, I'm better at it. Said everyone has their own strengths. I got before too, so I really miss him. So he left all those drawings and puzzles in the city in hopes that he'd see those challenges left for him when he recovers. Yes. Thankfully, it's nothing dangerous. Did you begin making those puzzles a long time ago? No, my friend was still healthy last year. Only have a number of puzzles. Well, at the celebration last year. First time I had the courage to make a puzzle. Year has passed, but I'm still not any better at it. They got trouble for the both of you? They had good intention. You did cause a representative here a lot of trouble. You did graffiti on public property in the city, and your graffiti is going to interfere with our judgment and responsibilities. Close attention to the Honkai Beast tracks. Well, we don't mean to erase your work. When I thought of myself, I thank you for your cooperation. I'll help you clean them up. The boy sincerely reflected on himself. Cyan ironically felt guilty. Here, you can have these photos. These are of my graffiti. 4 of them. Since the matter has been resolved and they've done their job, they can return to their creator. Neutralize all danger when you visit your friend with these photos. Your works of art can still show how much you missed him. Thank you, Cyan. To resolve, Fuel looked at Cyan and saw him smile for the first time in a while. Still hasn't built enough confidence in himself this time. Perhaps he could do even better next time. Yeah, I was kind of rushing that one because I already knew the way it's supposed to end. Yes, give me more. Sports. And now we keep going. There's 2 more. I'm going to try to get through them all today. I'm going to save that one for last, actually, I think. Or no, I'm going to save yellow for last. Came at the same time as the sudden encounter. And when Fua first came here, residents fled in fear. Adults and the elderly evacuated, leaving a small child to bear everything alone.
この崩壊獣たちは一体どこからやってきたんだ?
The Honkai Beast left him with no time to think. Everything he had to repel their attacks. However, according to his estimation, he couldn't hold on much longer.
ここは危険です。私が戦いますから隠れていてください。
僕を甘く見ないで。敵前逃亡なんてしないよ。
わかりました。では一緒に戦いましょう。
Meanwhile, he's literally just hiding in the back. Saw the little friend she fell alongside with and turned back to see him earnestly looking for something.
なぜだろう。また見失ったのか。それとも崩壊獣の包囲網へと僕を誘うのも計画の一部なんだろうか。
どうしたんですか？
なんでもない。ありがとう。その格好と顔。
Well, I'll stick the opportunity to get the boy a good look over. He looked and dressed like the other Vitas, except for his blue collar that gave away his identity.
アイロ。あなたは尖閣のビタ。失踪したビタさんの一人。彼はここで何を？それに彼の様子を見ると 他のビタさんたちに気づかれたくないみたいだ。
好きに呼んで構わない。
In sync, the two of them did not reveal the other's identity, and things became increasingly awkward. Blue was injured and despondent, seemingly disinterested in Fua.
誰かを探しているんですか？
いつものパトロールだよ。
Evidently, he didn't want Fua to interfere, but he was in no condition to complete the mission himself.
痛い。
Blue tried to move, but sighed in pain.
手伝いましょうか？
お言葉に甘えるよ。子供を探していてね。ちょっと前にここを通ったはずなんだ。これだけの手がかりで探せる？
やってみます。
適当に言っただけなのに本当にやってくれるのか？
あなたに嘘をつく必要はありません。どちらかというと私に探りを入れているみたいです。助けてほしいけど私のことを警戒しているですよね。
確かに君は記録のようにしつこい人みたいだ。分かった、行こう。
Okay, and now there's not gonna be any voices for a while. You're really okay with this? If you don't want to, now's the time to tell me. Look at your current condition. I think I'll be able to help. It's not easy for me, I'll admit that, but Fua, if you can only run errands, I can get red and green as well. But you didn't. I guess you don't just look at a problem from a quantitative perspective. Alright, detective. Looks like you've got some tricks up your sleeve. Then where should we begin? Lightning Insight. I've used that insight so many freaking times. Versus how many times have I had to use the freaking fire thing? Check. That was on the footprints of the child. The child went this way. Be there. Let's ask her. Return the textbook to my son. Nothing suspicious. Children like playing together. Oh, I know who he's looking for. Child, that's the paper boy. Delivers newspapers to my home. It's normal. Such to do with newspapers. Chat. Comes every night to pick up tomorrow's newspaper. You know, he's a sweet, lovable child. Suspicious. Newsboy, how many identities does he have? Perhaps I've already lost him. Blue muttered to himself. He was usually calm, but now seemed confused. Regardless who he may be looking for, our pursuit is meaningless given our current circumstances. Really? What makes you say that? The child interacted with a lot of people, and we were following the place he had been. Question people had met. We will always be one step behind, so it'll be hard to catch up to him. Hasn't done anything strange at the moment. We might end up with nothing if we continue investigating this way. Is that what you're trying to say? That's right, but this is only a deduction. Considering the current situation, there's no point asking passerbys anything. Perhaps. Who said that, but he seemed to have a new idea. He subtly checked the wounds on his body without showing any emotions. You're very clever indeed, but I'll handle the rest myself. But it helped a lot, and Orange probably wants to bring you around other parts of Gaming. Don't let her good intentions go to waste. Oh? The boy before politely suggested working alone. Let's start with this one. Can you really do it alone in your current condition? What's wrong? It's common to get hurt. Don't underestimate me. Can you still deal with Honkai beasts if they appear again? Fine, come along if you want to. I also have something I want to investigate, and I may need your help. Alright, leave your courtesies for another time. Let me tell you the next step of our plan. Sunshine was nearby. There was some disturbance. Barely audible. You got reinforcements. I need to reorganize tonight's operation. There's still time before he goes to pick up the newspaper. So this isn't the true route, as I should call it. He used to be free from such trouble. That's not what I meant. The way's blocked. Find and destroy. I like how the fire is used to destroy the circuits. Oh, frick. The door opened. Let's go after him. Physical smash. We made it. The lights in the news agency are on. The person we're looking for should appear soon. When the door creaked open, a boy struggled to carry a stack of fresh newspapers and looked at the two of them confused. Right, this is what I would expect. Also here to collect the newspapers? What did you start selling newspapers too? No, we're simply curious about tomorrow's news, so we came here to buy one. Sure, no problem. Handed over a newspaper with an eager look, which surprised the two of them. How is it? No demolishes appear. The lifestyle section states news liberation and watch out for abrupt weather changes. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's Cyan, who's good at taking photos, and you, Blue, who knows everything that happens that came in. Why'd you come here to buy the newspaper? The newsboy's subtle provocation did not anger Blue. Just a regular inspection. I'm sure you know that the city has been peaceful lately. Oh, while we're at it, let us in to take a look. Mindful Vita pointed to the open door. Sure, please come in. Around, but all the newspapers looked identical, and nothing was out of place. But you've been all there is to see. Do you feel assured now? Curious, you're a newsboy. So why are you delivering textbooks for others? Just running errands. It's better to be able to do more. Wait, what's with that tone? You think I'm up to something? We're being overly suspicious. After all, there's a lot happening in the city. We're taking things very seriously for the safety of the residents. Fua pretended to withdraw, and the newsboy let down his guard. You remember a boy who was as tall as you? He seems to be popular with the other children. I don't, not at all. I talk to lots of people every day. How can I remember them all? He's hiding something. Yeah. The newsboy knew he had said something wrong and immediately cut the conversation short. You're done, you can leave now. I'm going to lock up. I still have to wake up early to deliver the papers tomorrow. The newsboy did not even look back as he left. If only I acted faster. No, they clearly knew that something was up. My plan was not thorough enough. We didn't get any more clues. With this, as long as we can start investigating, we'll find a lead eventually. Out of this, thank you for your help. They're just as amazing as rumors say. Still have a reason why I cannot appear before the other Vitas now. So please keep what happened today a secret between us. It's been a pleasure working with you, Detective. I see. Now we go this way. The best way is going to be to let him loose. In fact, it's the only way now. Oh, I have to do this every single freaking time. In a sec, I'm just doing something in the background. Yada yada, yada yada. It's also unskippable dialogue. Okay, now it's actually going faster than I thought, so I don't have enough time to do what I was trying to do in the back. We'll interact with him again. Still, he's a truly lovable child. Thank goodness I don't have to do that again. Pretend to agree. Roger's friend, but changed her mind. What are we planning to do? Please be cautious. I will, and thank you for today. In fact, I should be thanking you. You know, exclude an outsider like me and even provide me with a lot of help. I've learned a lot. Yeah. See you later. Blue covers his wound as he turned and walked slowly away. He just doesn't want to show his weakness. He's injured. It will be very dangerous if he encounters Honkai beasts again. Or he's hiding from the other Ritas. Let's follow him and see. There are a few people on the street. Strange markings on the street. If I look harder, will I discover anything? Markings left by children. Why are they gathered here? I'm kind of just going for it. With much effort, Blue finally arrived at the news agency.
もういい。出てきてくれ。一応今まで僕を守ってくれたことに礼を言う。でもここには君にた。
Will walked out from the shade of the trees. The boy before her didn't look surprised at all.
いつ気づいたんですか？
大事なところはそこじゃない。そろそろ終わりにしよう。
He lowered his voice and hinted at Fuwa to press her ear against the door. She could hear panicked footsteps from the inside.
物音がする。やっぱり情報をつかんで現場の片付けをしに来たのか。
Blue abruptly pulled the door open, and the children who were busy cleaning up various types of papers looked toward him in
現
terror.
行犯逮捕だ。何か弁解は。
Fuwa followed behind him and immediately locked the door. The two of them then picked up a few pieces of printed paper scattered around.
勇気を出して挑戦しよう。誰が一番初めに禁足地に入れるか勝負。君たちは住人たちに新聞紙を配って禁足地に行くように子供をそそのかそうとしていたのか。新聞社の印刷機をこっそり使って翌日新聞の売り子に頼んで町の子供たちに配ろうとしてた。そうだろ。
The children were at a loss for words and could only stare at each other.
このチラシを作るように指示した人間は僕たちがここに来るかもしれないと君たちに伝えたんだろ。
どうしてわかったの？ちょっと喋っちゃダメだって言っただろ。
The newsboy was unable to stop the frightened child from instinctively replying to Blue in time.
今のは嘘だから本気にしないでよ。このチラシは俺たちが適当に作ったもので誰かの。
もういい。どういうことかはすでに理解してる。律には連絡しておいてから話があったら彼女に言ってくれ。
The children dejectedly lowered their head as they agreed. It seemed like they were already aware that they had caused a lot of trouble. Blue walked toward Fuha, who was standing by the door, and nodded to her in gratitude.
協力してくれてありがとう。今回の事件の経緯は大体把握できた。
力になれてよかったです。
The other path is probably what happens if he gets seen by a Honkai beast.
何も聞かないのか。一応僕たちは本当のことをお互いに打ち明けていない。
大丈夫です。あなたの行動は私の推測を証明してくれましたから。あなたの
どんな推測をしていたのか教えてくれ。
先ほどのあなたは明らかに指示を出した相手を知っている様子でした。わざと他の代理人に知られないように行動していましたが、調査ができるということは誰かの言いなりになっているわけではありません。あなたにはずば抜けた頭脳と警戒心があります。こんなやり方で行動することを選んだのも熟考の結果なのでしょう。例えば狡猾な相手を前に相手を驚かせてチャンスを逃さないように、そして仲間たちを巻き込まないようにあえて隠し事をしているとか、ある意味であなたは彼らを守っていると言えますね。
素晴らしいね。君はすでに察してるから、その推測に対してはノーコメントだ。けれど僕が町の代理人になってから。
一人目は
こんな話をするのは少し場にふさわしくないけれど、万が一僕に何かがあった時は頼む。きっと君なら最悪な状況に陥っても逆転するチャンスを作れるはずだ。僕は君の能力を信じてるし、その決断も信じてる。今日のことは僕たちの秘密にしよう。じゃあよろしく、名探偵。
Yeah, the next one is what happens if you get caught. Yeah. Time to throw ourselves in front of a Honkai beast to find out. Yep. That was quick. Thor easily defeated the Honkai beast that had suddenly appeared. So you've been protecting me this whole time. You'd be so dull, you even noticed that you were being followed. Wounded and couldn't even fight against the Honkai beast effectively. It's normal that you didn't notice me. Thank you. Did you find anything? So that you stopped there for a while. Actually, we'll figure about the clues he found in his deductions. The news agency, those child might just be... Yeah, let's go. When they saw a few children holding a sack of papers, they walked out from the building. You guys, stop right there. Run! Stop! So the building and gripped Fua's arm tightly. They stole my newspapers, but he refused to let go. He might get hurt. Those children slid up and disappeared in the night. They do this. Little one, you. Drop the act. Why would you suddenly say that? So you deliberately held Fua back to buy some time for them, right? Still on my case? You mean this? I have new flies on the ground. The ink on them hadn't fully dried. The children dropped them as they ran away. See who can break into the forbidden grounds first. Should children really be reading this kind of newspaper? They don't only steal my newspaper, they also use the printer to print this weird stuff. The one who's about as tall as you and very popular. Never seen someone like that. Shifted his gaze away and replied hurriedly. He's going to Green for an investigation. Huh? It's the only way we can help you find what you lost. The newsboy was speechless and could only nod helplessly. Don't worry, I already informed her. We have witnesses and evidence. Green will be able to make a fair judgment soon. He gave an implicitly profound smile, and the newsboy shuddered in fear. Then Blue turned around and nodded to Fuha in gratitude. Very grateful for your help. Thanks to you, I'm sure the truth behind this matter will be unveiled soon. So courteous, you seem like you have something else to say. What else do you want to talk about, detective? You'll be able to answer them. Otherwise, why would you hide from others? Then you're not that rash. You must have your reason for what you do. I'm resolved there's no need for me to pursue an answer. Advice I can give, you're very smart. So don't let others take advantage of your intelligence. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind. Be here soon, I have to leave before she arrives. What happened today is a secret between us. It's been a pleasure working with you, detective. Okay. Got that one too. Not even enough to give anything else. Now I claim the extra little... And go, last side story. Listen to her discoveries. And then I'm going to work on just getting more of those whatever things. The corner of the supposedly peaceful city of Kaming. Abrupt noises of battles can be heard. Fua looked toward the source of that voice and saw a petite girl evacuating fearful residents. As a result, the berserking Honkai beasts turned their attention to her. The girl could not hide the trepidation in her face, but she knew how to handle the situation. She could only shout with all her might. More fighting.
大丈夫です。ここから離れてください。この崩壊獣たち、少し怒りっぽい気がします。
What? With the crisis resolved, Fuha prepared to leave, but saw that the young girl was still standing nearby.
すごいね、お姉ちゃん。助けてくれてありがとう。
他のビタさんと同じ見た目と服装、それに襟の色。つまりあなたは本当のビタさんでしょうか？
うん、まだ自己紹介してないけど正解だよ。私のことはイエローって呼んで。他のビタが記録をアップロードしてるから、私も深お姉ちゃんのことをいっぱい知ってるんだ。
Yellow smiled amicably and seemed genuinely happy to meet Fuha.
イエローさんとインディゴさんは他のビタさんに内緒でずっと別行動をしている。もしかしたら彼らが何をしているのか聞くことができるかもしれない。
ダメダメ、深お姉ちゃんと喋っちゃダメだってインディゴに言われたの。正直すぎるから深お姉ちゃんに聞かれたらきっと全部教えちゃうって。どうしようどうしよう。終わるまで内緒にするってインディゴと約束したのに。
やはり彼女を困らせるのはやめましょう。ええ、大丈夫です。聞きませんから内緒にできますよ。ところでイエローさん、どうして一人で仕事をしているんですか？さっきみたいなアクシデントが起きた時、いつもはどうやって一人で対処してるんです？それ
は。
He looked around and only stepped closer to Fuha after ensuring that nobody else would hear her.
ここに来たのは重要な任務をこなすためなの。
重要な任務？うん。
慶明で起きてる変なことに関する任務なの。
これほど大きい町なのに、どうやって一人で問題を解決するんですか？
う原因は見つけてるんだ。
Voracious Vita inhaled deeply.
深お姉ちゃん、今日の慶明は変な匂いがするの。
え？
お姉ちゃんは観光客だから知らなくて当然だよ。この匂いは慶明でよく燃料として使われてるガスの匂いなの。燃えやすいし爆発しやすいから刺激的な匂いをわざと入れるようにしてるんだ。
That's actually a very smart thing to do.
今回ガスの密封に問題があるって教えてもらったから、みんながどう使ってるかを調べにここに来たんだよ。
先ほどの崩壊獣が怒りっぽかったのもこの匂いが関係しているのでしょうか。
A problem with the gas seal. That's sudden. Sounds like there's something more behind this matter. It worries me to leave Yellow to deal with this alone. After all, she does look very gullible. Look at the determined girl. Fua couldn't help but step forward. Hello, how about we investigate together? Oh, are you also curious about this issue? Actually, how should I explain this to her? Would it be hurtful if I explain myself directly? Let me think. Oh, right. Even when I just arrived here, the Vitas took care of me. I managed to familiarize myself with the city, thanks to all of you. It's a severe problem has surfaced. It would be great if I could offer some help. You willing to help me? Awesome! Fua wasn't good at lying. But Yellow did not doubt her far-fetched excuse and hesitant tone. This made Fua a little guilty. And she could only make up for it with her full cooperation. Let's begin. Where should we start? So they don't know anything. Let's try asking the adults. Smelling gas in the city? I haven't heard about it. Strange flavored candies are popular. Wish I'm brave enough to try them. Man whose smelling is keen. Can't describe. Very weak here, but stronger there. Do you smell nothing? Smell something strange in the kitchen and streets, but if it was gas leak, it wouldn't probably be here. They barely got any information from the residents, leaving Fuha and Yellow at a loss. The smell truly exists, which means that the information I got isn't wrong. More people also have a stronger smell. If it's the gas, this will cause very severe consequences. Who has the capability to leak every household's gas everywhere? There's no way that the diligent Vitas wouldn't notice an accident like this. Rather familiar, I've smelled it somewhere before. You mean this smell might not be caused by a gas leak? Eh? They don't seem to realize something and held Fua's hand in alarm. Look at those people over there. Don't they seem a little suspicious? Two transporters observed their surroundings. They brought a large sealed box of goods to Chang'an. Why are they heading towards Chang'an? I'm imagining, but I feel like they're covered in that scent. And the tools they used in Chang'an. Let's hurry to Chang'an and take a look. Let me think. Follow the smell and continue investigating, or investigate the suspicious transporters. Follow the smell. But from gas leak, as they already said, we wouldn't be here. Starts searching from crowded places where the smell is stronger. Look over there. Referring to that man? Passed by next to him and giving him something fragmented. He's behaving strangely. Let's continue observing for now. Left immediately. The way he looked around made it seem like he was looking for his next target. Very suspicious indeed. Let's go after him. We can split up. Oh, there's more, is there? We believe that to defeat the enemy, it's best to aim for its most immediate vulnerability. Hard for him to deny his involvement in this matter. Yellow nodded despite her uncertainty. Oh, then let's go together. I'm doing this because I want to see what happens. Oh, it literally is. Let me just go look at something. Okay. I was just confirming whether that was actually another... I didn't even touch it. That was just a shockwave off the fist. That slowed him down. Which direction is he going? Looking for new targets. Arrest the suspect. I said halt! No, it's yellow. The man saw yellow and immediately fled in the opposite direction, but Fua stopped him in time. Miss Lady over there, why are the two of you staring at me like that? I didn't do anything bad. If you didn't do anything bad, why are you running away? Wait, you're Barry owns the candy shop. Please open your bag and allow us to do a check. There's really nothing dangerous inside. Really. Open it. Fine, don't get angry. I really don't have anything worth checking here. The man reluctantly opened his bag. It smells even worse up close. These are candies. The stink comes from candies? With a unique scent. Some people love them, some people find them unappetizing. The candies that Miss Vita brings along. There's nothing dangerous, right? It's getting late. I should also be leaving. Wait. Why are you doing this? Why are you so cautious over mere candies? The shop, I'm just delivering them to a customer. In that case, you really aren't doing anything dangerous. Interested, drop by the store next time. No. Push's suspicion seemingly made him more nervous, and he unconsciously clenched his bag. He looked at the handle of the bag and... candies scattered all over the ground. My candies! What a nasty smell. Some strange look from passersby even attracted some uninvited guests. Those are Honkai beasts. I want to see if that was the other... Yeah, that's the other one. Okay. Extremely sensitive to the smell of these candies. Perhaps they are the reason why the Honkai beasts are exceptionally aggressive. Other kind of monsters when I smelled this scent. The candy shop owner trembled in fear. Did you know that these candies would cause such a ruckus? I didn't know they were in so much trouble. If I was careful enough, the quantity was small, nothing would happen. as themselves. They have a unique flavor that some people enjoy. But you didn't know that the Honkai beasts would also be interested in them. So that's what they're called. I'm going to Miss Vita the next time I see her. Hold on. These have sparked fear and concern in Kaiman. The further disturbance from the Honkai beasts dealt with, to control the trade of durian candies. Try them after this incident has been resolved. Vita, you're so thorough. I'll cooperate and I'll recall all the candies sold. The naive girl thanked Fuha enthusiastically. Thank you for your help. You're welcome, Yellow. And found my task is complete. I need to go back and tell him. Before Fuha could react, Yellow left joyfully. And there's 2 more. This one... Looks like Mr. Changing. What do you do with that box? How can I make him confess? Is it the true end? Or the true route? For some thought, Fuha made a decision.
あなたは作業員を2人雇って長考にある箱を運んでもらったんですよね。
Yeah, this is the right one. Damn it. I was trying to say that one for last.
俺の箱だって証拠はあるのか。
ここは彼を騙してみるしかなさそうだ。
Fuha smiled slightly and made herself look confident.
箱の中身を調べました。キャンディーの原料だけではなく、店の包装袋も入って
そんなわけあるか。俺はちゃんと確認した。それにフルーツを剥くときに包装袋を使うやつなんていないだろ。
But you said you checked it.
それって本当にバリエがしたってことだよね。
The man realized that he admitted to his crime and could only confess everything.
いいだろう。慶明の意思はこのキャンディーが原因だと認めよう。でも俺がキャンディーを作って売り始めたのは数日前のことだ。
ドリアンキャンディー自体に罪はありません。その独特
ドリアンキャンディー？そういう名前だったんだね。こんな味のキャンディーなんて今まで見たことなかったよ。オレンジお姉ちゃんも持ってないの。
それは子供たちに教えてもらったんだ。こういうフルーツが子供たちの間で流行ってて、お小遣いを全部出してでもキャンディーを買いたいっていうリーダー格の子もいるとか。
子供たちの好みにそれほどの説得力があったんですか？
慶明の子供たちはそういう流行り物が好きなんだ。絶対に儲かるって思って。だから俺はライバルにこの匂いが少し恐ろしいのは俺も知ってる。でもまさかこれほどひどい結果になるなんて思わなかったんだ。
だから何かをするときにはよく考えることが必要。
すまない。本当に悪かった。
そんなに緊張しないでください。正しい方法でお金を稼ぐのは悪いことではありません。それに崩壊獣のすべてがあなたのキャンディーは。
慰めてくれてありがとう。長考に捨てたドリアンのか。
Lil waved happily at the man as he walked in the distance, with an initial bright smile back on her
つ
face.
いていかなくて大丈夫ですか？
でもちゃんと処分するって約束してくれたもん。これで慶明もすぐに元に戻ると思うの。
オレンジさんの言う通りだ。イエローさんは嘘をそんなありのままを信じる誠実さは彼女の長所かもしれない。そうですね。でも勝手にキャンディーを売る行為は。
リツお姉ちゃんはこういったことへの対処が一番得意なの。へへへ。深お姉ちゃんのおかげで
彼って
まずい。これは内緒だった。ごめんね深。
ずっと違和感があった。今回の事件は危険でも複雑でもない。もしこれが事故ではなく最初から誰かが計画していたものなら、その目的はおそらく自分の行動の邪魔をしないようにイエローさんに離れてもらうこと。誠実さは時に人を困らせるから。
深お姉ちゃん、何か 事。
イエローさん、よく聞いてください。あなたが深
あ、深お姉ちゃんは私を心配してくれてるんだね。ありがとう深お姉ちゃん。この性格のせいでよくトラブルを起こすし、大変な目に遭ってきたし、そろそろ自分を変えようと思ったこともあるけど、そんなに考えなくていいよ。自分が何とかするからっていつも他のビタ。
仲がいいんですね。まるで家族みたいです。
うん、家族だよ。みんながいるから私は安心して自分でいられるの。でも他人に正直でいることも、心から誰かを信頼することも必要だって私は思うの。誰もそうしなかったら心と心の距離。信頼してほしいならまずは相手を信頼しなきゃ。傷ついてもその真心はきっと伝わるし、みんなが少しでもお互いのことをたくさん信頼できる。
そこまで考えているとは。確かに町の代理人たちは子供じゃない。
他人を信じたいからこうしたんだよ。愛と信頼はこの世界で一番素敵なものだから、みんなにもそう感じてほしいの。そのためなら少し損をしたり騙されたりしても全然大丈夫。私がトラブルに巻き込まれてもきっと他のビタたちが無事に解決してくれると思うし。それに
The young girl looked up at Fuwa with bright eyes filled with unconcealed joy.
今は深お姉ちゃんもいるんだもん。深お姉ちゃんは強いし、頭の回転が速いし、人助けもしてくれる。私たち7人のビタと深お姉ちゃんの力を合わせたらどんな困難も乗り越えられる。
ええ、イエローさんの言う通りです。誰かがあなたの信頼を裏切ったら、この拳で相手に仕返しすると約束します。
じゃあその時はよろしくね。
The young girl smiled widely, looking as radiant as the sky. That was the last line. I thought there was going to be at least another line after that. And now we follow the other people to get the last of it. Investigate the suspicious transporters. For brief hesitation, Pua decided to trust the girl's judgments and they headed to Chang'an. What should we do? When should we start looking? Don't worry, we can still smell that scent. When the smell doesn't dissipate, we can search for them via the scent. This is going pretty quickly. Sprint. For some trials and tribulations, the two finally caught up to the source of the smell. But the transporters who were moving the mysterious goods were nowhere to be found. To tell you, the smell was pungent. The simple-minded Yellow immediately reached to open it. Yellow, let me do it. There could be a container of dangerous gas inside. And this smell caused the Honkai beast to go berserk. Then what about you? Yellow frowned and looked at Fuwa anxiously. It's fine. It won't be something that I can't handle. Otherwise those transporters wouldn't have casually moved it back and forth. Nor would they have left it here. You have to be careful. Yeah. Step back a little. Fuwa tore the tape around the box away and lifted its lid. A putrid, yet familiar smell of rot filled the air. She calmed herself and looked in. Surely this thing that's giving off this smell. What is this? Yellow saw that Fuwa was alright and stepped forward to peer in the box, curiously. On top of that, for better observation, she stuck her hand into the box. Ouch, it bit me! Don't worry, it's a special type of fruit. It's very similar to durian from my hometown. This box contained its spiked shell. There's a fruit with such a horrible smell. Some people like to eat it, oddly enough. However, the smell of its flesh is more distinct. If those people threw its shell at Chang'an, the fruit could have been left in Keiming. I remember I've seen this thing a long time ago. I was badly pricked by it when I first saw it, so the other Vitas never allowed me to touch it again. As expected, the other Vitas always take good care of her. But the issue we've been investigating all this time is simply caused by this fruit. Pretty sure that Keiming isn't at risk of any explosions or fires. And it could cause Honkai to go berserk. We should be more careful. You're right, someone might have used this characteristic to cause trouble. It's good to be wary. We can eliminate worse possibilities that way. You're right. Well, I patted the girl on her head and sighed in relief. The two of them weren't completely at ease. That's where it ends. Okay, that's all the side missions done. Let me try doing some of these. Eliminating anomaly... ice. Who is it giving me as options? You... you... and you... as our Amperia. Let us go.
ブローニャ戦場に到着しました。0019殲滅モード起動。ファイナルショット。
Oh, I did that in the wrong order.
フィールド展開。マライカの運を覚えるがいい。ケイはいいのままに。カンちゃんそろそろダイエットして。ファイヤー。フィールド展開。
And switch again. And ultimate. This is it's actually easier when I did when I actually did the ice thing. I did that in the wrong order again.
この戦いは私たちの勝利です。
That's the 200.1, I think. No, that's the 300.1. Nice. Anomaly skill.
お出かけですか？
空。面白いものはあります？
So if I get 2 more 300s, I'm actually good already.
どうしよう、ドキドキする。頑張ります。ごめんなさい。や、せいや。
絵の中の世界、綺麗だから気に入ってほしい。
即決。せいや。準備できました。そちらは？テンポを上げて。準備はいいですか？リズ ズムに合わせましょう。
The only annoying thing about that is that it doesn't actually slow time. So the stage time will still keep going fast. Please kill it. It's always bizarre when the freaking weapon skill does more than the actual ultimate does. Now, is that 300 or is it 200? $250, really? Okay. Power is going to be who? Acceptable.
面白いものはあります？
So 1100 is where you get the max 300. Got it.
へえ、面白いわね。伝説の中で再び目覚めなさい。これが過去をプレゼントするわ。
Okay, I'm just gonna bully it, I guess.
無限包囲。終わりが来る。壊れたりしない。世界に加護。これが歴史の海の雫。
この絵の具ちゃんと受け取ってね。
私がこの王権生物を再現する。へっせいとこの王権生物を再現する。
He's kind of just shooting through everybody.
これが歴史の海の雫。せいこの王権この夢で全てを知りなさい。闇光を手にする。不変永遠女子種最悪から生まれる。代わりに悟りドリームキャッチ生死輪廻転々。
Let's just get out of that mode because I don't think it's gonna be doing much actually.
世界に加護。
I was doing so good at the start, and then I feel like I'm actually getting worse as this goes on. This is going to be, I think, a 200.1. Oh, I ran out of time, so it threw me out of it.
超えさせないわ。概念の映像。
250.
あの時を再現しましょう。
I think.
この程度ね。
So I need 100 more. And I'm gonna get that from Ice.
重装ウサギ00。
私の番かな。パルドでもフェリスで。
ブローニャ、戦場に到着しました。フィールド展開。
They indeed have much more health in this time than they did last time.
0019殲滅モード起動。ファイナルショット。フィールド展開。
献身の道を感じなさい。猫のお出ましだよ。いけかっちゃん、叩き潰せ。
私はフィールド展開。0019殲滅モード起動。
And there's Stardust mixed in that group right there.
フィールド展開。
対価の運を覚えるがいい。バンケン奇襲。それまたやっせた
私フィールド展開。
That guy just tried to heal on
そ
me?
ろそろ本気を出すよ。楽勝。それやった逃げることは得意分野の一つだからね。やっシュシュシュ。
私
I tried running to go grab a few of those Stardust core things.
0019殲滅モー
And
ド
I'm
起
trying to remember if there's 4 waves or 5 waves.
ケイは意のままに。へへ、乗って。それ母ちゃんそろそろダイエットして。
シャファイヤーフィールド展開。
Okay, so I'm ultimate,
ファイナルショット。
and as soon as this shield is about to run out, I'm gonna switch. 'So like
そ
now,
ろそろ本気を出すよ。バンケン奇襲。はっはっシュシュシュ。母ちゃんいけ。それ
シャファイヤーフィールド展開。
it's gonna be a close one. I'm not sure how
ファイナルショット。
many points I'm getting. I think it's gonna be the 200 mark though.
対価の運を覚えるがいい。ケイは意のままに。はっ爆弾だ。母ちゃんやれ。
私の指示に従ってください。フィールド展開。
そろそろ本気を出すよ。
15 seconds
バン
left.
ケン奇襲。この憲法はめったに見せないんだから。
That was actually pretty close to me just failing. Oh, it got me 200 at least. And stigma acquired. And now I'm just going to quickly go and see what the daily thing is. Yeah, I'm going to use my team for this just to see how it goes.
みんなと一緒に戦います。かくれんぼしよう。最低フローラ来て。恵みの雨を集めて。えいや命の枝ここで交差する。命の準備できました。ここで交差する。梅雨のように朝日に消えて。
The moment those guys break, they die. It's actually quite hilarious to a degree.
この夢で全てを知りなさい。いい手。
Yeah, and I really should actually just just switch.
この程度ね。
Like, literally, I'm gonna kill the first two with Sele, and then switch. As soon as there's the actual... Actually, screw it.
あらゆる概念よ、幻で示しなさい。ドリームキャッチ、生死を断絶する。闇の光を手にする。不変変わっている女子種、最悪から生まれる。
Yeah, it's so much better to use Dreamcatcher or Dreamweaver than it is to actually use freaking Sele, just because the type advantage matters. And in fact, it matters a lot. Let me see, which ones don't I have good yet? You... Literally lightning. What level are you? One more. I'm actually getting a bit of lag here. There. Everybody's level 9 now, at least. And that gives me another 40. But yeah, I got the stigma I was aiming for. And not a moment too soon either. It literally has 2.5 days left. But yeah, I think I'm going to be ending the stream here because I've done everything for this story, and the only other thing I could do is the other thing, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But anyways, thanks for coming to the stream, everybody. We've completely finished chapter 41, except for those 60 things left. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.